being a virgin does not make you holier than thou. I was a virgin once, like speaking from a male's perspective. um we're conditioned to grow up, especially if you're born in like, the 2000s, like the 21st century. You grew up to watch, internet videos, like highly sexual and intense, videos that you could find on the web of like men and women interacting with each other, in a intimate, in a very intimate and yeah, very intimate way. And it's like I used to watch a lot of those videos, and I can't say I've stopped watching them, but I don't watch them as much anymore, you know. Um and when I do watch them, it's just kind of in a way where it's like, right, well, I know this is not reality. I know it's not real life because I've went and I've done the thing. And I mean, I watch it for like educational purposes because there are certain techniques, that you can learn from these videos. You can actually incorporate, especially if you're watching kind of more amateurish stuff, and not just the professional mainstream stuff, because there's a lot of stuff on there where there's like professional mainstream videos, the studio lights, the super high quality cameras. But then there's also things where it's more relatable, and it's kind of like I don't know, it's like two people just in like a shack type of environment, like a very small like a very small space, and just like low camera quality. But it's like they're just having fun either way, and kind of ravishing off of each other. And that's like a different experience in comparison to like the big professional shoots, when you're comparing them to like the smaller amateur shoots. So I watch a bit of both because it's like you can see the difference. And in seeing that difference, there's a lot to learn there, and I've actually incorporated positions, techniques, and it's definitely helped in that part of my life, like my sex life, when it's time for like sexy time. So, but I think that people put way too much emphasis on, like, for example, like a woman being a virgin. And it's like, for me, it's like I don't even feel eligible personally to have like a virgin wife in this life. I feel as though like I've ruined that in a degree because I chose to be like, well, I'm gonna deal with women, and I'm gonna, just talk to whoever I can, and just do what I want to do. I'm horny, I'm a teenager, I'm just trying to get around and fulfill those needs that I have, without thinking more long term. Like, if I go around and sleep with people, like, how's this going to really affect me? How am I going to get too attached to these women where it's to the point where it's going to be more difficult to break off a relationship with them, and then I'm going to be left with some type of like attachment trauma to this woman. And that kind of happened too. And I've done the inner work in order to be able to overcome that. But it's not been easy. And so it's required abstinence, it's required like discipline, um, sexual maturity, and all of that. But as I've been aging, it helps as well. And so, but I want to get back to the point of like women being, society placing an emphasis on a woman, or even men placing an emphasis on women in general. Um, oh, there's no point in getting with her if she's already been touched by someone else. If someone else got there first, why would you want to have that? Well, the thing is, I'm not a virgin. So like, if you're not a virgin saying that, or I'm not a virgin saying this, what even makes us eligible to think this way? Only a guy who's a virgin could like actually have merit in order to be like, well, yeah, I want a wife who hasn't had any sexual experience because I haven't. Okay, yeah, fair enough. That's a match in that sense, because you can bond over that experience, and it's not like she's just the one who's vulnerable and you're not vulnerable at all. So both of you being vulnerable is going to help in that, you know, when it comes to having that experience for the first time. But for me, it was like I just wanted to get around. I had too much of a high sex drive, and I wanted to see what it was like. Because even before, when I was a lot younger, like early teens, it was like I would have a few girlfriends. I would kind of like dry hump them because there was no place to do it at, like in my parents' house and their parents' house. So it's kind of like whatever. I would catch a few wines, go to a few motives, or parties, to put in other words, and I would just, you know what I'm saying, like have women twerk on me and stuff like that. And that's kind of how I would. That's kind of as far as it would go, like earlier teens. But then later teens, I managed to get around, just kind of like, you know, book a hotel, or like just really just sneak out, like work out when the parents will be back, and all type of stuff, like when the parents are coming back from work, if they're at work, just come over at a certain time, and yeah, and just and get to work, so. But I just think that a woman could be a virgin, but she could still be caught up in society's beauty standard, especially if she's naturally attractive, and be be devoid of like personality and humility, because all she hears is that she's attractive, she's this, she's that, and everyone is holding her up, pedestalizing her because of something, just off of aesthetics. And it's not something that she even worked for. It just happened to be that she won the genetic lottery, aesthetically. And so that's all she walks, that's all she really has the mental capacity to talk about, you know um because it's a mirror of her reality. It's like people are giving her compliments. She can't even, people have given her so many compliments from underage all the way to being then a legal adult, to the point where desensitized to any like she's desensitized to any like positive reinforcement. And the only way that you could humble this woman is if you're then like negative towards her, and just, you know what I'm saying, like you like call her unattractive, or or call her like a bimbo, or call her stupid or something. And this could be to a virgin woman. Maybe she's just preserved herself. She might just still be young, so she hasn't had that experience. But as far as like getting compliments, she's had more than she can count, like hundreds and thousands. And so it's like you can't, it gets to a point where you just don't value it anymore, no matter who it comes from, where it comes from. And like because I think you learn a lot as well when you have sexual experiences. So it's just like being a virgin it's overrated, because she could still be addicted to porn. And so like she's just, you know pleasuring herself, overstimulating herself, in her free time, or sacrificing time that she could be using to work, to gain a skill, like I don't know, like studying for something, like in like leveling up in her trade or in a career field, learning, either studying to become a lawyer or a doctor, a scientist, like, or just setting up a business and learning how to run that, and how to serve clients, and how to find products that are going to be popular in the market, and to capitalize off of that. Like, but all of these skills that she could potentially learn, she don't gonna learn anymore, because people are just saying that she's attractive and giving her gifts because she's attractive, giving her just, free, just money, just throwing money at her. She could post a cash app on a social media, and people will just send her money, just for the hope and the thought that maybe she will just reach out to them and notice them. But it's like, no, because you got 100 other guys doing that, you got 100 other people doing the same thing. What how is she going to be able to take notice of you when she already views herself as a god, because she's like, oh well, I'm a virgin, or oh, I've only given a guy head, but I never let him hit. It's like, you see, it's not everything that it seems for a woman to be a virgin, in comparison to a woman who isn't a virgin.